Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 5 math. So today we're going to start with book. Here is the book Math Makes Sense grade 5. So let's just start with the book. So we're going to start with the very first chapter from the book, that is patterns and equations, and the lessons we're going to cover from the book are number patterns and pattern rules. Then we'll start with lesson 2, that is using patterns to solve problems. Okay, let's just start with the book. Hold on. Let me just open the book. Hmm? Grade 7. I open grade 5. Hold on. Just 1 minute, please. Okay, here it is. Okay, here is the chapter 1, patterns and equations. Okay, let's just start with the first lesson. So we're going to start with chapter 1, that is patterns and equations. Let's just start with the chapter 1. Okay, here is the chapter 1, that is number patterns and pattern rules, right? Let's just start with lesson 1. Okay. Okay, here is the practice questions. We're going to start with the practice questions, right? So let's just start with the first one, right? The first five terms of each pattern, right? So start at 3, add 2 each time. You have to write the first five terms in the pattern. You have to start with 3 and add 2 each time. Okay. Start with 3, add 2 each time. That means the first number of the sequence is 3, right? So it would be 3. For the next term, you have to add 2. 3 plus 2 makes 5. 5 plus 2 makes 7. 7 plus 2 makes 9, right? 9 plus 2 makes 11. That's how you can write the numbers. You have to start with 3. For each next number, you have to add 2, right? So that means the numbers in the sequence are 3, 5, 7, 9, 9, 11, or not 12, right? Okay, the next one is start at 1, add 2, increase the number you add by 1 each time. Okay, start at 1, add 2. Okay, you started with 1, add 2, that would be 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. It's okay, no problem. 1 plus 2 is 3. Increase the number you add by 1 each time, right? So you have to add 1, like this time you added 2. Now you have to add 3. 3 plus 3 make 6. Now you have to add 4. 6 plus 4 makes 10. 10 plus 5 makes 15, right? You started with 1, you added 2. Now increase by 1 every time, right? So it would be 1, 3, 6, 10, and 15. Okay, the next one is for each pattern in question 1, use counters to show the first 5 steps. Predict the next 2 terms. Use counters to check your predictions. Okay, you have to just use the counters. In the first one, you have 3 and you added 2. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. That would be in the first one, right? So you have to use the counters. Okay, for this one, first term is 3. For the second term, you have to add 2. So 3 plus 2 makes 5. Then for third term, it is 7. So basically, you have to show the counters. This is the counters you have to. For the fourth term, you have to add 7 plus 2, 9. So you have to add 2 plus 3. You have to add 5 plus 2. You have to add 7 plus 2, like this, right? Okay, the next one is question number 3. Write the next 4 terms in each pattern, right? You have to write the next 4 terms in the patterns. Write each pattern rule. What did you do each time to get the next term? You have to start with, okay, you are given the patterns. Let's start with the first one: 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, first you have to find the pattern, right? You have to see how the pattern is increasing: 1, 2, 5, 7, and 8. Okay, 1 plus 1 makes 2, 2 plus 3 makes 5, 5 plus 2 makes 7, 7 plus 1 makes 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Sorry. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Let's just understand the pattern first, right? 1 plus 1 makes 2. 2 plus 2 makes 4. 4 plus 1 makes 5. 5 plus 1 makes 2. 7 plus 1 makes 8. Okay. You can see the pattern is growing by 2 and then 1, right? This is the pattern. Now, the next one you have to add 2. It would be 10. Then you have to add 1, it would be 11. These are the 2 terms you have to find, right? Here is the pattern. For the first time you have to add 1 and second time you have to add 4. So we did for the two next terms, there are 10 and 11, and the question is, write each pattern rule. What did you do to get each term to the next term? What For the next two terms I added 2 one time, and the next time I have to add 1, right? Yes, add 1 and then add 2, right? Okay, the next one is 2 4 3 5 4 6 5. 2 3 4 2 4 3 5 2 4 3 5 4 6 5. Okay, 2 plus 2 makes 4, then 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 minus 1 is 5. See how the pattern is growing. For the next term, yes, you have to add 1 time and subtract 1 time. So for the next number, you have to add 2. 5 plus 2 makes 7. And for the next one, you have to add 1. 7 minus 1 makes 6, right? Then you have to again add 2. 6 plus 2 makes 8, right? Okay. C is, let me see how many questions do we have, because I think, okay, we can do 98, 85, 87. 98, 85, 87. 98, 85, 87, 74, 76. The pattern is decreasing, right? Decreasing by what number? 98 minus 85 is 13, right? Then 85 plus 2 is 85 plus 2 is 87. Then 87 minus 74 is 13. Then 74 plus 2 is 6, right? So that means one time you have to subtract 13 and then you have to add 2, right? So it would be, for the next number you have to subtract 13, right? So 76 minus 13 is 76 minus 13 is 63, and then you have to add 2, that would be 65, right? Okay, let's start with question number 5. You can do the D part by yourself, right? Okay, find each missing term, describe the pattern. 3, 23, 13, 33. 3 plus 20 makes, let me write it down on board. 3, 23, 13. 3, 23, 13. I think 33. Missing one, 43. and 33. Okay, 3 plus 20 is 23 minus 10. Again add 20, right? For the next one, you have to then subtract 10, right? It would be 33 minus 10 is 23, right? Then you again added 20, it would be 43. Then you again added 10, it would be 33, right? So you have to add 20 and then you have to add subtract 10, right? Okay. 99, 98, 197, 190, 99, 98, 198, 197. Okay. 99 plus 1 is 98 and 98 plus 100 is 197. Minus 1, you have to add 100 now. It would be 297. The pattern is one time you're subtracting 1 and next time you're adding 100. 99 minus 1 is 98. 98 minus 100 is 198. So 198 minus 1 is 197. For the next one, you have to add 100. It would be 297, right? Okay, 2 plus 20 makes 22. 22 minus 10 makes 12. 12. Let me write them down on board. 2, 22, 12. 2, 22, 12. 132, 122. 1340. 2 times 11 is 22, right? But then, okay, let's see. 2 plus 12 is 22. 22 minus 10 is 12. No, you have to multiply and then you have to subtract, otherwise you don't get these numbers. This is 2 times 11 is 22. For the next one, you have to 10. 12 times 11 is, I know that 12 times 11 is 132, yes. And then 132 minus 10, right? Then 122 times 11 is, yes, 1342. You have to subtract 10 for the next one, it will be 1332. And for the next one, you have to multiply 1332 times 11, that would be 14,652, right? 14,652 it is. Okay. The next one is, what is the seventh term of this pattern? Start at 200, subtract 8 each time. How could you find the seventh term without writing the first 6 terms? Okay, you have to start at 200. Start at 200, subtract 8 each time. Question is, how could you find seventh term without writing the first 6 terms? So you don't need to write first 6 terms, you have to calculate the seventh term, right? So you have to start with 200. That means 200 is fixed, right? For example, you have to calculate term 1 and you have to add 8. When you have to add term 2, you have to add 200 plus 8 times 2. When you have to add term 3, you have to do 200 plus 8 times 3. That means when you have to add term 7, you have to do 200 plus 8 times 7, right? It would be 200 plus 8 times 7 is 56. So the seventh term is 256. Basically, that's how you have to calculate the pattern rule. So if you get the pattern rule, you don't have to calculate the every term, right? Just use the pattern rule. You will find the term you want to calculate, right? Okay, the next one is, what is the 10th term of this pattern? Start at 13, alternate, subtract 4, then add 5. So start at 10, alternate, subtract 4, then add 5. Okay, so start at 13. Okay, subtract 4, 9, add 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. Subtract 4, 10, add 5, 15. Subtract 4, add 5. Subtract 4, add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, added 4, subtracted 5. Added 4, subtracted 5. Because I forgot what I have to do next. You have to subtract 5 from here. See, 13 plus, no, subtract 4. This is subtract 4. Added 5. Subtract 4, added 5. Subtract 4, added 5. Subtract 4, added 5. So for the next one, you have to subtract 4. So 17 minus 4 is 13. That means the 10th term is 13. Patch, do you have any question? If you have any question, just write the question. Do not send messages like this, right? So yes, the next one is 13. Okay, question number 7 is, the first two terms of a pattern is 6 and 12. How many different patterns can you write with these two terms? For each pattern, list the first 6 terms and write the pattern rule. Show your work. Okay, 6 and 12, that means they are the factors of 6. It would be 6, 12, 18, 24, right? The pattern is increasing by 6, right? Okay, we're done with the lesson. Let's just start with the next lesson. Using patterns to solve problems. No, I cannot see what you're writing. I just see blank messages from you. That's what I am asking. If you have any question, just write the question. Do not send blank messages. Okay, here is a pattern of linking cubes. Make pattern continues. The pattern continues, use linking cubes. Make the next two objects, copy and complete the table for the first 6 objects. How does the pattern goes? Okay, let's see how the pattern goes. Right? 1. Let me just count the cube. For the first time, you have just 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That means the you have cubes are increasing by 3 every time, right? For the one time object 1 you have 1 cube, object 2 you have 4, object 3 you have 7, object 4 you have 10, right? You have to calculate how many objects, how the pattern grows. The pattern grows by 3 every time, right? How many cubes will there be in 10th object? How do you know? You have to calculate the objects in the 10th. You have to calculate the cube in the 10th object, right? Okay, basically you have to, let me just write them down on board. Okay, it is object and cubes. Object 1 1, object 2 you have 4, object 3 you have 7, object 4 you have 10, right? You have to identify the pattern rule actually. Okay, you can see 1 is fixed. You add 3 every time, right? Then 2 plus 4 plus 3, then 7 plus 3. Every time you add 3, right? Mm, or either you can do like this, 3 times 2, hold on, minus 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 times 3 minus 2, 9, 9 minus 2 is 7. Then 3 times 4, 3 times 4 is 12 and 12 minus. Yes, the pattern rule is 3n minus 2, right? You have to calculate for the 10th term, that means the n is 10. So you have to do 3 times 10 minus 2. 3 times 10 is 30 and 30 minus 2 is 28. That means when you have to calculate a 10th object, in 10th object you have just 28 cubes, right? In 10th object you have 28 cubes. How will any object have 50 cubes, 51 cubes? How do you know? Okay, 50 cubes. Let's see if with any object, this is the pattern rule, 3n minus 2 equals 50. It would be 3n equals 50 minus 2, that is 3n equals 48, right? Divide both sides by 3, so it would be n equals 16. That means 16th object have 50 cubes, right? 16th object have 50 cubes, and no object have 51 cubes, because you can see 51 minus 2 is 49, and you cannot divide 49 by 3, right? So that means 16th object have 50 cubes. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the next questions. We have so many and we have a. Let's start with question number 2. The pattern is in this table continues. Which of these numbers in the next term is the cost column 77, 78, 79, 80, and 81? How do you know? What a Write a pattern rule for the cost in dollars. Write the next 5 terms in the cost column. Which of these numbers is the next term in the cost column? The next one is 16 times 2 is 32. The pattern is increasing by 16 every time, right? You can see here. 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 16. Every time the pattern grows by 16, right? That means the next one would be 64 plus 16 would be 80. The next one would be 80, right? How do you know? Because every time the pattern grows by 16, write a pattern rule. You have to write a pattern rule. So pattern rule will be when n equals 1, the cost is 16, right? When n equals 2, the cost is 32. That means that is 2n. The pattern is not 2, the pattern is 16n. Number n is number of CDs, right? For the first time, it is 16 times 1, 16. For the second time, 16 times 2, 32. For the third time, 16 times 3 is 48, right? That means the cost of one CD is 16. So the number of CDs is 16. That pattern is 16n. Write the next five terms in the cost column. The next five is 80 plus 16, right? The sixth one is 96, right? The seventh one is 16 times 7, that is 112. Eighth is 16 times 8, that is 16 times 8, that is 128, right? Every next term 7, multiply every next term by 16, right? 7, 16 times 7, 8, 16 times 8. How each term in the cost column different from the term before? They, how is each term different from the following term? Each previous term is 16 less than the next one, and each next one is 16 more than the previous one, right? Okay, the next one question is, I'm going to skip some of the questions because we have less time and more questions. So I'm going to skip question 6. Let's just start with question 3. Let's just start with question 4. You can try question 3 by yourself, right? Okay, the sunflower is the only single flower that grows as high as 300 centimeters. Suppose if it grows 30 centimeter each week, in which week could the sunflower reach a height of 300 centimeters, right? That means in 1 week it grows by 30 centimeter, right? Here is the week and here is the height of sunflower. So week 1 the height is 30. Week 2 30 plus 30, right? 60. Week 3 30 plus 30 plus 30, or either you can write 30 times 3, right? The question is, at what week could a sunflower reach a height of 300 meter? First, you have to look for the pattern. It would be 30 times n. N is the number of weeks, right? When n is 1, 30 times 1 is 30. When n is 2, that is 60. You have to see 30n and that equals 300. You have to calculate the week. You have to calculate the value of n, right? Divide both sides by 30. It would be n equals 10. That means after 10 weeks, the sunflower is the height of the sunflower is 300 centimeters, right? Okay, question number 5. Dave read 40 pages on Monday, 37 pages on Tuesday, and 34 pages on Wednesday. This pattern of pages read continued until Dave finished the book. Which of the numbers below is the number of pages Dave read on Thursday? Okay, so on Monday he read 40, on 37, then 34. Okay, page is 40 minus 3. The pages are decreasing by 3 each day, right? That means on Thursday he read 34 minus 3 is 31, right? On Thursday he read 30 books. What was the total number of pages Dave read the first 7 days? Okay, 31 minus 3, 28. 28 minus 3, 25. You have to calculate first 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 25 minus 3, 22. That means on the first 7 days, total number of books you have to, total number of pages you have to calculate, right? So for the total number of pages, you have to add all these values. 40, 37. Let me just add 40 plus 37 plus 34 plus 31 plus 28 plus 25 plus 22. That means in the first 7 days, he read 217 pages. You just have to add all these pages, right? Dave have finished his book on day he read 1 page. How many pages are in the book? So you have to keep decreasing until you get one, right? And when you get one, the question is the book is finished. 22 minus 3 is 19, 16, 13, 10, 7, 4, 3. But he didn't read page 1. Hold on, 22 minus 3, 19. 19 minus 3, 16. 16 minus 3, 13. 13 minus 3, 10. 10 minus 3, 7. 7 minus 3 is 4, and 4 minus 3 is 1. That means when he read day 1, page finish. Okay, when 22, 217, just add 217 plus, hold on, 217 plus 19 plus 16 plus 13 plus 10 plus 7 plus 4 plus 1. That means the total number of pages are 207 pages. In the book, you have 287 pages. Got it? Yes, we have to add all these pages to calculate the total number of pages in the book. So when you add them, the total number of pages in the book are 287, right? Okay, let's just do the last one. Look at this shape. How many triangles are there with a side length of 1 unit, 2 unit, and 3 unit? 1 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They all are with 1 unit, right? 9 triangles with 1 unit. With 2 units, 1 and 2. Now you have to calculate, you have to see the bigger one, right? 2 unit. That means 2 this and 2 this. Only one. Just see. 2 unit mean the one that covers 2 triangles by length and 2 triangles by width, right? So it would be like this: 2, 2, and 2. Only one triangle, right? And when 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, when 3 units is only one triangle. How many triangles are in this shape? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 small triangles, one 2 unit triangle, and one bigger triangle. So it will be 9, 10, and 11 triangles, right? Okay, so we are done with the lesson. We'll start the next lesson in the next session. We're done with first 2 lessons from the chapter. We have started with the chapter patterns and equations. The lessons we have covered are number patterns and pattern rules, then using patterns to solve problems, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete the test questions I skipped. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.